Hello, classy, class A, class. Hola, class A. Hello, classy. None of that works. Today, we're going to start off by me finishing my dinner. And no, I'm just kidding. Reviewing previous work. I know you're excited. Hello, hello. Just making sure my headphones work. My camera's on. Everything's okay here at the booth. Right. All right. Let's share our screen. And we're going to start with create an interesting sign. Now, in this assignment, you were supposed to make an interesting bar sign or coffee sign, and you guys did great. Um, really wanted to write a bunch of stuff, but I thought this would be a better way to do it if we could um, do it live. Okay, let's get on with it. First up is Kylie. God, I wish you guys were here in person. This is weird. This is great. I love all the stuff you've done to this. It looks like you went over, you took an existing sign somewhere, yeah, maybe, or something that had texture to it. You did a great job of, maybe that's, you just used the texture brush. I wish we were here to, let's see. Great job making this look super realistic. I assume you changed the hues of the building, maybe. And the black fits perfectly, yep. Yeah, it's really nice. The indentation, the pillow emboss on the text really makes it look like it's cut in. Um, this really makes it look quite nice, uh, like it's painted on. Um, I don't think this part is it's confusing to the bar and grill since this part is all engraved and this part's all engraved. It seems weird that this would be painted on, especially since um, you have more of a texture here. But maybe it just got too small and you had to do it by hand. Um, sometimes Pillow and Boss craps out. And just so you know, um, let me get a picture, a working picture. Not this one. Switch this mode. Remember, if you want to use this stuff, you can't be in grayscale. So you got to get back into RGB mode. All right, then I can go to blending options now and emboss. Bevel and emboss is one, and then pillow and emboss allows you to um, um, just do this there. Write this down, shut that down, come over here. Pillow and emboss allows you to make marks um, that look like they're recessed. So if I go into effects here, I can now, oh, it's doing the whole picture. Nice. Okay, let's do pillow and emboss on here. Options. Bevel and emboss. Okay. Now we can draw pictures and you can see how it looks like it's recessed. I think uh, in the bevel emboss, pillow emboss works the best. Outer, chisel, none of these really kind of give you um, the inner bevel, stroke emboss. I always think pillow emboss works the best for if you want it to look like you were carving out something. All right. I'm back. All right. So this is great. And the color treatment is really nice. I love how you floated in some color here and the patchwork. Some of this stuff, let's see, when I go back here, can be found right in the filter gallery. Um, and that might be going to texture here. Well, you can see all I have is the stripe selected, but you can kind of see how you could have gotten that look from one of these things. I'm not sure how you did it, but it looks great. Set down for now. I really quite like what you've done. So does everybody else. What an interesting font this is. I'm dying to know if you created it um, or if it's like a house font. Oh, Elizabethan. This Evans Roman. It's really nice. This is quite crazy. Yeah, and what a nice effect, right? The you kind of have a wood like piece of uh, nice kind of pine or also what are something really soft. Um, and then you put it together quite well with the logo and stuff. That's exactly. I really like this font is what sells it for me. I can't read what the heck it says, but it's really interesting. It's so interesting that it doesn't matter that it's if it says something or not. It's eye catching, which is the font itself has transcended its purpose and become the focus, which is really funny. The moon's nice too. I don't know where you got that or if you made it or not. Um, from a purely graphic design standpoint, there's probably some shifting of things I would do a little bit, change a little bit, maybe raise this up a tad, move this and this over a little bit, um, make this a little tiny stuff. But it's a great design. I really love it. Let's see what you say. Mhm. Yeah, that's great. And the wood texture came out really nice. Let's see, everybody loved Graces. I'm like way behind. Maureen, I like yours, Maureen. It's a very interesting idea. Um, it's like you've had branding classes before or something, or you do branding for a living because you have the you have like this is an example of how the branding will be used, and here's the actual logo, uh, which is kind of fun. I love the idea of the coffee stain being like a physical object that everything else is passing through. And then it is also, like, of course, the letter, but it's the coffee shop. It's a really nice design. You have quite a knack for graphic design. It's an interesting font and nicely utilized, and everything is very easy to read. Quite good. Hmm. Said the same thing I did. Hmm. Everybody agrees, Maureen, that it's really nice. This is you put that in your pocket for when you open your coffee shop because that's awesome. And this is kind of an interesting too, where you've done an abbreviated logo. Like that would be the t-shirt that everybody in the shop wears. You'd have the coffee stain and the logo's like a towel, like towels were branded sort of like that. Well, differently, but with the big letter in the middle and the two on the side. Nice. Great job. I really like that one. I like them all. That's a good one. And this is Remy's Coffee Bar. Nice. It's like he's coming out of the ocean. Is that water? Remy's. I'm not sure what that is. The dogs are welcome. This is a little hard to read. And this looks a little fuzzy, and not because it's fuzzy, but because the colors you used are playing interestingly, like a medium gray and the black is crying out for the highlight, especially when you have all three present in the font above. Just kind of a check when you go to do stuff is leave it for a while and then come back. And if you see something that bugs you, just go change it. Like this and the background and the text and that all work really well. And even this works really well, but this other stuff down here, not so much. And this coffee bar and cafe, I think could have used, even if you'd done it like in this font here, it would have been a little better. For some reason, this just doesn't, it's not, there's no hard, there's no, I don't know, it just isn't resonating with me very much. But the picture of the dog and the way you've cut it out and integrated it looks great. It looks like he's in the ocean, like he fell in a wave and he's looking up at you. Really fun. And this is super cool. We have a coffee house. I live in San Anselmo, and there's a coffee house here that has all this Mucha kind of design. I'm not sure if you know who Mucha is, but yeah, um, they actually have a sign. It's like the coffee roastery or something. Let's see if I can find a picture. Coffee roastery. Yeah, that's what it's called. Here's a picture of what it looks like on the outside, which is nothing. Let's see if they got a picture of some of the wood stuff. So here's some of it. You can kind of see this is a very Mucha design and all their signs and everything is all just like your sign there. It's all, everything is all really interesting wood shapes. And it's funny, like none of the pictures are showing it. Kind of a little bit up here and stuff. But when you go in, it really hits you that that's what they've done. And then I think over here somewhere they have a giant sign. There's some of the woodwork. Anyways, your stuff reminded me of this coffee shop. Um, and then for those of you who don't know who Mucha is, Mucha Mucha is this artist. When I show you the work, you'll probably know who it is. So this stuff here, and you can see this kind of deco lining and font treatment and stuff is very reminiscent of his work. Yep, there comes the tornado. My dog, by the way, FYI, my dog is running around crazy in the background here. I got a new puppy and she's great. See all this stuff here, the flowers and stuff. Usually he would draw women and the women would have stuff attached to it, but it'd be flowers and stuff, but the flowers themselves are actually graphic design. He evolved that over a long time. He started off kind of like this and he ended up somewhere more quite a transition he had during his life. Cool. Nice job. I really like that. And I shouldn't, for all intents and purposes, I should be able to read Java Junction, and I absolutely can. I think what you have going for you is that these are all really long bits of stuff, and then these are shorter, so that it's a nice contrast to that. That's kind of crazy. Oh, there's my dog. Oh, puppy. Come here, you. Come here. No. Playtime, is it? I was going to show you, but she's a pain in the neck and she keeps running away. Come here. Uh-uh. Everybody wants to see you. Come on. Come here, Jaws. Her name isn't Jaws. Here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Sit down. Oh, good girl. There you go. You can have that. Ooh. Oh, there she is. Not much of a puppy anymore. She's 5 months. All right, off you go. Don't do anything dumb, or than you already have. Uh, sorry, Finley. So I really like this. It's a really interesting design. I'm glad you were able to incorporate it. Come on, you. Have a seat. All right. The dewdrop. I saw One Crazy Summer. I don't know if you saw One Crazy Summer. The bar that what's her face plays in is called the Dewdrop. But I really like the font. The cutout is nice. But I'm gonna have to secure the dog. Let's pause my recording for a second. Okay, where were we? There we go. Dewdrop in, One Crazy Summer. I don't know. It's an older movie with John Cusack. There you go. Been removed. No blog. But John Cusack falls in love with Demi Moore, who is trying to save her grandparents, her grandma's house, and she plays a concert at the Dewdrop Inn to raise money to save the house. Okay, enough. And in the movie, John Cusack plays an artist. Cool. So now you reminded me of that, but this is really nice. I really like how this looks cut out, and it really looks 3D. A couple minor sort of things I think I might have done. This coffee house thing, it needs to come up just an iota so that it's not sitting on the bottom of the line. Because even if you meant to do that, it never looks good unless if you have a bar, chances are the computer's ruined us. So if there's a bar, it's expected that the um, text will be centered in the middle of that bar. And remember, we did that before. Well, in that class there. Little tiny one. Um, couldn't have picked something with 300 DPI. There we go. Right where I can stick something out and then make a bar like this. Just make it the colors. See? And then all you need to do is grab both the elements and you can align them. This is center line, right? And this is vertical line. Of course, it would help if you had the text above the thing, and then they're perfectly just a button. Cool. But if that's my only problem, I really, really like the Dewdrop font and stuff. And I like the drop you made. And I'm not sure if I'd rather see the P behind the drop or through it like you have here. I think in my head, I'm thinking I would rather see the drop in front of the P. I think it would work just as well, but for some reason, breaking this line takes away from it being 3D to me. I don't mind it over this, but I think it should be behind that. And but other than that, it's nice that this and this is the same color. It really kind of works well. A few little things. Gloria's Coffee House. Gloria, this is like uh, in the olden days when you would go to the store and get generic food. This is like as generic as you could make this. That's really funny. You know what it kind of reminds me of, and maybe you could play off of this a little bit, is a Scrabble tile. All right, it's kind of the Scrabble tile. It's almost the Scrabble tile shape. It has a very um, whatchamacallit, a very simplistic sort of um, normalized sort of look. I have to say I really enjoy the way the cup came out. The cup's really nice. Um, it's almost I'm not sure if you just took a gray cup and then put it on multiply, put it over the top and hit multiply because it's it's really nice. Or if you match the color, it'd be hard to match the color. Let's see if you have notes. No, that's really neat though. It's very simple. I use this font all the time, the Comica. Mm. Yeah, I agree. Cutting board sort of thing looks nice. This is fun. This is kind of like French cafe, Sherry's Cafe. It's a really neat illustration. I don't know if you did that or not, uh, Sherry, but that's very cool. When you like, is this? I often wonder when somebody names something after themselves uh, if they use this font with their name all the time. Like, is this like a go-to Sherry for you? Uh, it's always interesting to hear that story. I like how you rounded it around here too. Now remember, um, there's the other thing I showed you. I think you wanted to wrap it around. Maybe not. Maybe this is exactly how you wanted it. But we have that other manipulate that other distorter thing. Let's see. Coffee, tea, and what was the other pastries? Pasteurize. Okay, sorry. Small one. this over, and then we have the warp to warp, and then if you come up here to arc, but we can go cylinder. Right, I think this is more you are looking for. Did I just lose the rest of it? I could bring this down and this up. Did I accidentally delete the coffee part? I don't know. It just, oh, okay. That's maybe a little too strong then. Transform warp. We go in here. Yeah, we'd have to do here. We need to have a little elbow room. So if I come in here and I go space, space, because we know it's two spaces too big, and I create. So you can see this little dot shows you where the text starts, and you can see that's where the text ends now. So because it was cutting off at C, right? I want you to be able to see coffee. So I put in a couple extra spaces into the text line itself. So that when I go warp and hit cylinder, there you go. So you can still see the coffee part. And I missed an E. So now I'm gonna have to put in an E and then knock it off again. I think this is what you are trying to get so that it looks like it's in a cylinder. Anyways, great job. I love that idea. In this kind of thing too, you could have also offset it. So like coffee, tea, and pastries, that was common of this 1950s, 40s, 50s French style, where it would look like a ransom note or something like coffee, or like somebody just threw words at the page, and it works because of the nature of the illustration. Again. See, I could never have written all this down. Hi, look at this. Very fancy. A cigar bar. Victor's Cocktail Bar. I like everything you've done here. The picture I like very much with the cigar and the glass and stuff. I don't know if you built that or took the photo or whatnot. And this matches it really nicely. Um, I think, and it's your own fault for making this look so good. I think what I would enjoy seeing is if the smoke from the cigar at least made one of these words, like further refined, like you kind of painted the smoke and then the smoke spelled out further refined. And then I want to see this bigger because it's a little hard to read at this size. So established, you can move over here and make it smaller. And then Victor's Cocktail Bar, make it at least as big as the glass. Or even instead of making it 3 high, make it one line, so it crosses over. So with such a large square object in the shot, it's hard to compete with that. So you're right to do this. You either make it smaller than the dominant object in the scene, or have it transcend its parameters, or in this case, bigger, make it bigger. And then the smoke thing would just be for fun because you've got this totally set up to do something cool like that. Whenever I see a glass like this with alcohol in it, I always think of the subliminal images, subliminal advertising images, um, like what's the reflections happening in here? If you unfurled them and stuff in the 70s and the 80s, they used to do a lot of 60s, 70s, and 80s. They used to do a lot of subliminal imaging where they would have things that you subliminally picked up in here, like naked people, um, or guns or something, whatever they were trying to associate with their product. And it was disguised. They would put it in here and then it'd be so small, like you can see these things in here, right, are probably just the other bevel here. But if this were like booze for like a swim team or something, these could be like, dancing swimmers lined up at the pool ready to dive in, like in a musical or something. And that kind of looks like a woman and all stretched out, a butterfly. Um, Anyways, this reminds me of that. I don't know that there's any of that going on. I don't know if you took this picture or you grabbed this picture from somewhere, but that's something they used to do. Really nice guy. Very. If I'm inspired by it to look at it, um, that means other people are too. So you've done a great job. Nice work. Yeah, that's true. The photograph itself was very good. I wish you guys were live and I could ask you about it. I missed that bit. Mocha grounds. Nice. Sandra, this is great. This is really nice play. For some reason, this works so well. Hmm, it's like a coffee nado, or I guess it's kind of looks like it's spilled. Um, Sandra, if you go to a coffee shop and they serve you coffee like that, send it back because it's not done yet. Tell them they still need to cook it some more. I'm just kidding. This looks great. Super professional all the way around. Let's see, picture and your fonts and stuff. So the picture was there, and then you added the font. So you had the coffee and the black slate, sort of. Interesting. Nice. This is great, Jack. You made a sign of a sign. I'm not sure how that would work. I'm not sure if this is the sign that you wanted to use or the whole thing is the sign that you wanted to use. So if you were to have this on your coffee bar, would this be a sign on the outside of your thing? Would it be a sign on a sign? It's really funny. Nice. And now that you've had the vector shape training and stuff, you could go in and make your own vector shapes like this. This is just a vector shape. This is a vector shape, and then this is a vector shape using the multiply layer. And then these are probably all vector pen shapes as well. All right. Oh, nice job. I have so many questions, but it looks really good. This your text is a little bit. It's like one letter off center. Um, this one too. Yeah, all your text and stuff needs to come over one letter. So very little. Sorry, I gotta let the dog out. There you go, pup. Yeah. Oh, back. Hey. Yeah. All right. Nice. Sorry. And then this is Tasha's. I like this style too. I like your frame. I wouldn't mind hanging that on the wall of my house. In there. Brew that. That's great. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't mind this at all. Um, if anything, I might move, excuse me, these two this way a little scotch, but I don't mind. just because I think for some reason this distance here to my head needs to be uh, a little closer here because it seems like it's when it's further away than what you're used to, it then becomes a new thing instead of a brew thing. See what I did there? It's nice. Um, but I really like, I don't know if you got a 3D template or you made that 3D. Because uh, with that's one of the things that um, Bevel and Emboss does really well is makes this kind of shape like ropes and stuff. So you can do layer. Blending shape options, bevel and emboss, and yeah. Have it go up, down, not pillow bottom. What do I want? No, emboss that one. Yeah, and then when you go in, like if you wanted a rope around this, it's just a really easy way to draw a rope. You have to, you do have to like come back and get rid of these little bevel marks here. I usually will take it up like this, have it go through a little bit, and then I'll go create another layer. Uh, Merge these two layers together. This one. And then I can go back in. I really want a sharp edge here. And just cut those little tiny bits out. And it puts it right back behind it. I'd probably do a better job. Okay. Okay. Oh, all right, Tasha. Very nice. This one cracked me up. Chip and I just took a picture of her phone on the way out of Dutch Brothers and just changed it to Butch Brothers. But it's hilarious. Actually, I don't know how much you did on that. Let's see. You got 2 bits here. It's hard for me to see what's going on. Got the type, and then there's the coffee. So those are those two. And then there's that. You just kind of put it over. It's interesting. It worked out really well. You might have hit it up with a little tiny bit of transparency, just based upon how this is. It's opaque, but not really opaque because there's light being hit in here. So this gets kind of a backlit, which makes an automatic transparency in a plastic, even if it is opaque. It's still kind of orange. And then you don't have any orange in here. So you just adjust the hue tiny little bit so that it incorporates all the yellow to it. It would have sold it. It's not until I get close here that I even notice that there's something screwy going on. It's cool. Great job, guys. All right. That is science. Let me stop my sharing. Pause. Okay, are we recording again? Testing, testing, testing. Hi, we're on the air. This is my new backdrop. It's from a show called Secret Agent Elvis. Nice, huh? Taking on that. All right, let's share my recording. There. And we have a forehead and some eyes and a mouth. It's Maureen. So these are your vector selfies. And let's take a look. Despite their talents, nice. Let's see, Maureen. Oh yeah, that's great. Look at you go. You know, I don't know how many of you had vector experience. You should have had it in Photoshop 1. But this is great. Look at your eyes and stuff. Really nice use of shading and shapes to make this work. Certainly always has a look to it, huh? This is really nice. I love all the effort you put into it. I wish I could see it in one thing. I'm gonna shrink my screen. Not letting me shrink my screen. Come on. There we go. No, I can't read anything because the fonts are all too small. That came out great. You should be happy with that. I put that on my Facebook or whatever. I mean, I don't know what you kids are using these days. Certainly not a Facebook. Don't have a Facebook account. I did. Kylie's is cool. Look at that. I love that you dropped in the background. God, you guys all did way better than at this than I am. That's fantastic. Now I gotta go the other way with this. Oh, there we go. Interesting. Now I'm wondering if you made this its own shape or if you did these in overlay. Shadows are way easier to do in overlay. And in fact, well, unless you want different shadow colors, right? But the good thing about like what like I showed last week with the cartoon thing is that you can create one color shadow and then that color shadow goes over everything. But you know, but that blue color would affect this differently than it would this, and it would affect this differently. But it'd all be the same color. You could do all your shadows at one time with one color, and then just hit multiply and a little transparency, and it would automatically shades quite a bit of this. So you really only have to build your big bulk shapes. Um, and then the highlight's a little different. The highlight you have to add manually. The rest of all the shadowing and stuff you can do at one time, which makes it a little easier to work. Yeah, it's a very interesting choice for the nose. All right. Sorry. Kylie, great work. This is really, really nice. Again, another Facebook like that should, end up being your logo for everything. Let's see, Finley. Tried my best. Had a bit of trouble getting this done. Spent too much time on the lines of the hair. You did spend a lot of time on the lines of the hair. Nice. Uh, really interesting choices of highlights. It reminds me of Girl with the Green Stripe, the Gauguin painting. Uh, it's very cool. Yeah, I don't think you needed to do all this. Part of the vector dealio, right, is that it's not a sketch; it's a block of color that you're putting together. Think cubism rather than Dolly sort of stuff, than photoreal stuff. Looks great though. Okay, this is Gemini's. Oh, it looks just like her. Nice. Wow, that's really no, I'm just kidding. Wow, it does look just like. Did you just run a filter on this Gemini? That's not. Now where? How come you're not here? I had more trouble than I could deal with trying to learn past the pen tool. I did make a vector from a selfie, but I definitely need more. Oh, okay. Yeah, because that looks like a filter, but it looks really good. I think you've definitely did weird things to your eye. I guess those are those shapes are in your eyes right there. You just got weird eyes. Oh, that's too bad. You never know how weird your eyes are until you bring them out in cartoon. I actually love the. I'm just kidding, by the way. I love the ramp, the colors and stuff. Right. Um, it came out as a gradient, uh, like a gradient for your lips and things too. Even here from the red inward, like it created all these wonderful gradients. It's a good lesson to take into your vector stuff, right? Because you can add color ramps you can add this kind of stuff using vector. It just as an overlay um, with a screen filter or something. Um, it's just a lot of work, and you really have to know what you're doing. Next time, this, but I don't know what you did here to make this happen. That's kind of fun. It's great. Yeah, I agree. Sweater does look good. Oh, I see. It's like Grace. That's not you. You don't have purple hair. Like I see you copied the anime thing. Let's see. It's a really nice. It's not a bad way to go when you're learning how to use vectors. Is to copy something that's obviously sort of vectory. Um, Anime is um, the popularity of anime has contributed to the vector style being a little more popular than it used to be. Because obviously, and it's cool that you recognize that. Um, nice. I kept looking at this one as being the original and this one being the copy, but that's not the case. This is the copy and this is the original. I guess if that's the problem, then you did a great job. Although with vectors, you could have made this perfect. Unlike the original drawing, a lot of anime is looks like it's done with vector tools and stuff, but it's not. It's hand painted. The artists are just really good at getting this style down. So good that when you do it in vector, it looks very similar. You did a vector shadow there. That's a multiply, I think. because unless you did painstakingly did that little square, that little triangle, that little triangle. Very cool. Nice job, Grace. Uh, it isn't exactly what I was asking for, but I don't mind it at all. It does demonstrate the skills. I would have preferred to see you do a self-portrait, but this is all right. See, look at Jerry did a self-portrait. That looks great. Got like some texture going on there. Got googly eyes. How you got your vector so wavy, how you made something that's so rectilinear by nature look so fluid and wavy is beyond me. But it's great that you were able to do that. I think you captured your lips well, and your hairstyle's nice. It's good all over the place. I'm not quite sure what texture you put on there, but that doesn't look bad either. Very interesting. Oh, look at that. Rosario's is awesome too. Everybody did such a great job. You can bring this right. This this can be this can be on a different layer, right? You can bring this underneath. Just saying, I don't mind it because it gives a nice break. Almost would put a highlight in there on purpose to kind of accentuate it. Um, but you can take this red if you want and put it on a different layer behind the hair layer, and then you don't have to try and match up these super hard to match up things. In fact, if I were doing this piece of hair here would be one piece, uh, and then right behind it would be this face, and then behind that would be this piece of hair, and in front of that would be this neck, and this piece would be on top of that, and I would just work my layers like that so that it's stacked up differently, so I could push them together without having to worry about them. Because then you could just make this piece like that big, and so cool. It's a really nice looking um, piece. It has a lot of power to it. I like the lips are two colors for such a simple design. It really has a lot of character. Great job. Oh, Kai, your nose got away from you. That's pretty straight on, or pretty dead on, huh? So yeah, sometimes the nose gets away from you, and once you get vector pieces laying around like that, it's hard to get rid of them because you have to go in and select the individual dots. But if you're drawing with the pen makes a lot. If you're drawing with the freeform pen, the pen makes a lot of spline points, and so they're hard to chase down. Uh, but overall, I think you've done a great job. Silhouette to silhouette, that's perfect. The hairstyle is the same. The ears are good. The neck and the way the shirt is good. Can't believe you didn't put in. This is the easiest part where you just type in text, put that there. You did all the hard parts and left the easy part. Uh, but it looks great. You matched the background colors well. Nice job. I wish we were here live. I'd show you how to fix this. Pretty easy, how to fix that. But it's a great first attempt with vector. Here's Rena and her dog that's not swimming in the ocean. Oh my God, you vectored your dog. It looks great. I mean, it looks just like you. I assume you just put the vectors over your face and made that work, or you're really good at portraiture. It's really quite nice. Your actual face has quite a lot of nice highlights and stuff. I wish you would have grabbed some of those, but oh, it's such a nice piece. Also, the other thing I'll say, well, you've kind of got it here. Is hair always ends in a point, right? So you can start off at a point and end in a point in order for vector to look like fur. It's this is rough. It's awesome. This looks like a nagel. That's really good. Oh wow. It almost looks like a comic book, like Heavy Metal or something. I wish you could talk to Cassandra because that's uh, quite a bit of fun. Have you ever seen the movie Heavy Metal or a Nagel painting from the 80s? You'd be a character right out of the movie. That's hilarious. I better watch my scrolling. There's nudity in this. Tarna is the kind of the main character. Well, it's there's a whole bunch of mini stories, but she's the main character of the movie. Hmm. But you need to get your whatchamacallit, your hair in front of your glasses. But so much fun. Oh, do I have to show you what a nagel is too, or do you guys know what a nagel is? How do you not know what a nagel is? There, that's a nagel. It's a little more graphic designy than that, but it's dang close. Now that I look at them side by side, um, this kind of eye thing. So in the 80s, they were up in every bar and everything. Here's Tasha's. Nice, Tasha. Quite like that. Did you, because this is obviously like a color thing, right? Where you reduce the color, reduce the color, reduce the color. Is see, two very, very simple, detailed one I used to make. Oh, okay. And then that one is a higher res one. This looks like when we had to reduce things in video games to 64-bit, they would all, if you had an actual face, it would end up when you reduced it, end up looking like this, where it separated out to color patches, but kind of in a really strange way. This banding like a topo map or something. Huh. I think I prefer, I mean, this one's cool and all, but this one's more of the assignment. You need to go a little bit darker with the nose and things, and you would have been golden. And catch the lip a little bit. I realize it's hard. Vectoring's not easy. Cool. Well, great job, everybody. All right, I'm going to stop the video there, and then I'm going to start a new video. Um, and we'll go through what we're working on today, which is the Dodge tool and creating a historic image. I'm still I need to go back and rewrite the assignment for that, but there's a video on how I made one, and then we'll talk about some of the tools you can use to do it yourself.
All right, great job. I'll be right back.